So let's get started real quick. All right. So I'm going to actually create a section view, and you can see that I have a top view up here, and I have a right side view, and I have my isometric view. I'm going to make my section view down here where the front view normally would go. All right. So I'm going to start right up here on that end, right? Which would be right up here on this one. So the first thing is I'm going to come across my part, right? So I'm going to draw it in on both those. So I'm going to come up right here and come across my part until I hit the edge of that hole. Well, after I hit the edge of the hole, I'm going to go down, right? So I'm going to go down until I hit the bottom of that hole, which is represented over here on the right side. Okay. Well, then I'm actually going to come across. You can see it in those two views. I'm going to come across that hole. So I'm going to come across like this until I hit the edge of the real deep hole, right? And then I come down that deep hole all the way to the bottom. So if something doesn't tell you how deep it is, you automatically assume it goes to the bottom, right? So now I'm going to come across the hole. So I'm going to come down here. I'll come across this hole, right? I'll come up the other side. Now I'm only coming up to this level right here, right? I'm only coming up to that level. I'm not going all the way back up to this original level. I'm only coming up to this level right here. So I'm only coming up that far, right? Well, then I'm going to bring this all the way over from this edge of the hole all the way over until I hit the edge of that big round hole, which is actually right there. Okay, you're missing actually a line probably on yours, which is right there, and you're missing this line that you want to put in. All right, once I get to this edge, right, so I've come across, I'm going to go right down that edge right like that. So I'm going to come over here and go right down that edge, right? So now I'm just going to darken in all the outside edges of my box. Okay. I'm not quite done yet, though. There's a couple little things, and that's why I'm doing this one. I'm going to let you do the other one just a little easier. First of all, I need to hash in what's solid. So as I'm cutting through this area and this area right here, which is over here and over here, I need to hash that in to show that this is the material that I'm cutting through. So these are my section lines. Okay, so that's the area I'm cutting in. Now, if I cut this right in half, I can kind of see inside here, right? I'm going to grab a different colored pencil. I'm going to be able to see that little purple edge right there. Okay, so that purple edge is right here. And then I go up that little edge right there. So I'm going to go up to that edge. I can also see this edge too, because I've been cutting right down through this channel. I'm only halfway through the channel, so I'm going to be able to see this edge right there. Well, that edge is right here. And I'm just going to tie it in. Now, the last thing that's tough on this one, more than any other one, is this flat edge right here actually comes halfway through the circle. So you can see it up on this one. So this edge comes halfway through this circle. So I have to put this little edge right in here. So that little edge is just shown like that. If this was flat, okay, because this part, if you're looking at it, is actually flat. So right here, it's actually flat going through there. So I have to show that flat. This is not a rounded area. So this is what this section view would look like if I was going to do it on the CAD. All right. So the one that you're going to be doing, let me flip it over. Slide it down a little bit. You're going to be doing this one, right? So the first thing you have to do is bring all these lines down. So bring the edge of the line down, bring the endpoints down, bring this line down, this line, bring the edges of the circle down, the edges of this circle you want to bring down, this line, right? Then you need to bring all these lines across and do these very light. These should be construction lines. So I bring the top, I'd bring this top line over, I'd bring this line over, I'd bring this line over. But now I also had these two on the inside. So I'd want to bring that one over and that one over. Okay. Now, this bottom line right here, that represents the depth of that. This bottom hidden line represents the depth of that little square area down there where the circle and the hole are. Okay, just so you know. All right. So I would bring these all over. Now, yours should be fairly easy because you're going to start right here. So wherever this line and this line intersect, you would start. And then what are you going to do? You're going to come across, right? So you're going to come across like this. You're going to come down. You're going to go across until you hit that little hole. Well, that little hole is going to go all the way to the bottom, right? You'll come back up the hole. You'll go across until you hit this big round thing right here, the round cylinder. You're going to go up the cylinder, across the cylinder. So you come across the cylinder. You go back down this cylinder. You'll go across that little opening that's down here in the bottom. You come up the side. You'll go over until you hit that other little hole, which only goes partway down. Go over the bottom of this hole. Come back up. Go back over. And then your object should kind of look something like this. The only thing you would have to do is put that back in and then figure out what in here you're going. Actually, you don't want to put that in. Figure out what in here you're going to crosshatch. All right. What in there you're going to crosshatch. There's a PowerPoint in Activity 136 that will help you through this. It's also going to talk about what a full section is, what a half section is, and what a I think a quarter section is. So you need to know what those are.